Welcome to the T-Pac Arcade. Today's game is B-Wings for the Nintendo Famicom. In this 1986 shoot-'em-up from Data East, you're a starship defending Earth. That's it. But honestly, that's all it needs to be. We're here to blast space stuff, not tell some epic narrative. So B-Wings is made up of 30 stages, which alternate between open sections, where you fight groups of enemy craft, barrier sections, where you plow through mechanical structures, or dodge mechanical structures, but why would you do that when you can blow stuff up instead, and a boss fight, which pits you against a massive mothership. Dismantle the shields, blast the core until it turns red, and take off to the next section. Obviously, the level layout doesn't offer much variety, but that's where the weapon system and enemies come in. First, the weapons. As the title suggests, you can equip several pairs of wings to augment your firepower. Some stages let you choose a set of wings right at the start, but all levels have predetermined ones available throughout the stage anyway. To access these wings, you blast both of their supports, and then dock your ship. But only if you don't currently have a different pair of wings equipped. If that's the case and you want the new set, just press B to ditch your current ones first. But if you don't have any wings, your ship is reduced to, essentially, an angry fountain pen. But there is a serious benefit here, because pressing B in fountain pen mode lets you dive briefly under enemies, projectiles, and barriers, and you're completely safe until you reascend. Super useful, but not as fun as the wing upgrades. There's a forward cannon that shoots concentrated streams of squares and hearts, because love is the greatest weapon against the forces of evil. There's a flamethrower with almost no range but devastating potency on enemies. There's a short pulse that covers you from 3 angles. A crescent shot that looks more like wings than your wings, or maybe more like a boomerang if you prefer. A variation of the heart cannon that concentrates firepower on your sides, and this one is actually completely necessary for beating certain bosses who can only be attacked laterally with the power of love. A third variation of the heart cannon that covers you from behind with the power of love. An angle shot that changes angles. Some special hidden upgrades like this neon square beam whose projectiles are even bigger than your own ship. Awesome. And my personal favorite, the hammer. These wings let you attack with a concentrated cannonball blast while simultaneously offering a rotating cannonball barrier that sticks around even if your wings get blown off. Which brings me to another interesting mechanic. You can survive if only your wings get blown off, but taking damage directly to your fountain pen base ship is lights out. And all the enemies here are trying to ensure that it's lights out for your puny little fountain pen. Flappy darts try to bounce right into your flight path. Annoying flying fish-looking things arc all around the screen to cut you off in the middle of traffic. Mecha carrots dive bomb you with a lethal dose of vitamin A. Stretchy, stripy strips that look like paper finger traps are tough to hit because they're so narrow. Green rockets appear in formation from the rear to kick you right in the rear. Barrels barrel straight down, leaving wiggly projectiles in their wake. Weird enzyme things detach from their floating posts to dive bomb you without warning. And bosses are always preceded by blankets of missiles. Speaking of bosses, while most of them are of the armored battleship variety, there are actually 3 weird animal ones thrown into the mix. The spider attacks you with stars when you might otherwise expect webs, but it's a space spider, so anything's fair game. The frog hops around, just sorta creeping you out with his creepy face and his creepy space frog egg sacs. And the snake slithers around firing hearts at you. And here I thought the power of love was supposed to be my weapon. What makes B-Wings great from an aesthetic standpoint is its consistency of design. Enemies favor bright greens to stand out from the playfield, structures always feature flashing components to highlight their weak points, and bosses change color as a neat visual damage indicator. The sound design here is pretty typical early 8-bit Nintendo fare, with lots of noise channel crashes and a couple of mostly unremarkable chiptunes, but I love the fact that the boss music precedes its arrival to build tension, and I appreciate that most of the wing upgrades have their own unique blast sounds, even if the flamethrower one is just The most novel aspect of B-Wings is the scrolling. While we've got typical vertical auto-scroll here, the screen wraps horizontally, so you can loop around infinitely without ever hitting the sides, which allows for the unusual but extremely useful strategy of dodging enemy swarms by constantly veering left or right. It doesn't work for all enemies, but it works on most of them. B-Wings isn't an easy game, but I really like its approach to balancing the difficulty. You get 3 lives per credit, and dying restarts you at the nearest level checkpoint. And the last checkpoint before the stage boss always has whatever set of wings are best for taking on that particular boss. Except stage 29, which gives you the front heart cannon when you really need the side heart cannon. The boss is still vulnerable to the power of love, but only lateral love. But I digress. Even if you run out of lives, you still have unlimited continues to try the current stage from the beginning. And thanks to that, paired with my TurboFire controller, I was able to finish all 30 levels without using save states to cheat. Granted, I did use them to pause the game overnight between play sessions, but that's only fair for a shoot-'em-up with this many levels. My favorite part of B-Wings is the final boss, because it's the perfect example of how to end a game. It's It's just a variation of the previous Infiltrate the Cage bosses, which allows you to use the same skills you've acquired up to this point, but in a more epic experience because of the cool flashing fang mouth at its core. A good final boss like this is memorable for building on your experience in a fun, flashy way, and not for being overly difficult and frustrating by introducing new mechanics or strategies. Overall, B-Wings is an excellent shoot-'em-up that serves as a shining example of the power of balanced game design, the power of an angry diving fountain pen, and of course, the power of love.